Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Somebody can hear me. Go ahead and put that in there. I'm having to use a headset tonight. So if you can hear me, go ahead and holler. All right. So I'm filling in for the wonderful, the one and only Dr. Arts Hot Rod Rehab. He's taking a night off from this, so I'm going to go ahead and fill in for him. So we did have, hey, what's going on, Don? Bad Attitude C10. He's one of the No Name National 500 race to 500 guys. What we used on that project 91 94 was basically a high temp. So it is a budget build. It is a high temp ceramic based paint. I want to say we used VHT, and they do make the primer for it and the paint. Now the headers were like a coated stainless or whatever, nothing crazy, but we went ahead and used that and cleaned the metal really well, primered it, let it dry, and painted it with that. So hopefully it holds up. I know in previous applications we've done it with, it does work pretty well. And it looks like we got Jackie, we got Chucky, Bigfoots and Mopars, NSB, Don, Buff's Garage, Levi. What's going on, Levi? UP, Unfinished Project. We've got Pure Pontiac Garage. We got Patrick, Mohawk, Dust Devil, Bad Attitude C10, JC Motive Garage. He's assembling a 4-cylinder Honda engine. Pretty cool build. NSB, if I've repeated myself, I'm just reading off names. It's been a while since I've done a live. We got Colleen in the house. I know we've got others. I probably missed. Barrows is here. Buff. We got a whole bunch of people in here. I'm going to go ahead and pin the streamline. Oh, Turbo Tom is here. Destroyer. Eric 1320, another great guy with a super fast Mopar. We got Mopar Man 78 in the crowd. Dutch guys. I'm really digging that wagon with the big block. That's going to be something to be reckoned with on the street or on the strip. Anything small like that, lightweight, the big block is definitely going to kick some ass. Torque Racing Productions. What's going on, Roland? Roland last year, I raced him in the Monkey Bike Challenge. It wasn't my bike, but I made it to the finals, and he blew my doors off. So real quick, I'm building a new monkey bike, and it's right there. You can see ish. It's not technically legal for the actual monkey bike challenge itself, but I'm going to use it as a call out bike. And it's a new Predator engine, 3,100 RPM clutch, high compression, high performance cylinder head, and it's getting nitrous. So watch out for Stevel Knievel on that ride. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and paste a link in if anybody wants to join in on there. So we're going to talk No Name Nationals tonight. A two-stall garage, what is going on? Looks like you got some cold weather. Two-stall garage, he does a lot of really cool stuff. He just got done with like this, if you want to call it a junkyard build, and did a bunch of work to this car, repainted it and all that. Absolutely gorgeous job. Everyone go check him out. You have a nitrous kit? Awesome. Eric, send me a text. We'll get that worked out. I'm definitely going to be flying with this thing. Oh, look, we do have somebody coming in, and it happens to be Dr. Art. And we got another one, Brad from Poor Boys Garage.
No, I just got back from a 10.5-hour road trip. Stopped in real quick. Thanks, Jeff, for filling in. Hi, everyone. And I got to go eat some.
What's up, Jeff?
Hey, how's it going, Brad?
Good, man. Good to see you.
You
Dr.
too.
Art.
Sir.
Now, little story behind these guys. Dr. Art, for the new people, he has got a LS turbocharged Ford Ranger. It was the first car to race at the No Name Nationals, and it is going to be absolutely bringing heat this year. And somebody who brought the heat last year was Brad in his Poor Boys Garage Roadrunner. It was very rowdy. Looks like we got JB and Lars in the house and Beamer. Welcome, everybody. Brad, thanks for joining tonight. Tell us a little bit what you got going on with the Roadrunner for 2023.
I think we are going to do some transmission stuff, my man. I think I'm going to drop that transmission back out. I got to get up with Mr. John, the infamous John Cope, get one of those drums, those aluminum drums, because I watched this video and I started biting my fingernails. Did you see that one where they were exploding?
Yeah.
I got it with my buddy Dennis. I'm like, Dennis, that ain't going to be us, is it? And he's like, nah, man, we'll be fine. But anyway, we're going to put a bigger stall in this bad boy because we had like a 3,500, 32 to 35. And it was loving it. But, I think this thing needs to launch at 45 to get into that real nice, sweet power band of this 440. So we're going to do that this year. Well, probably next couple months. I just got to get some money saved. And
I know the feeling
I'm going
on that.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to do some, I'm attempting and I'm going to try to do some fender well headers, man. And I've been looking at them and I'm like, ooh, that's going to be, I mean, it's not hard, but it's like tedious, to bend all them, to get them to go where you want them to go. And I was going to buy some from, what was it, Hookers doing some, I don't even remember. They got them all pre-bent. Then you probably got to cut a couple tubes and maybe modify them. And I'm like, man, I can't find any past 2 inch. I want to do the 2 1/4. So I may have to just make them myself. And why? I don't know. Just because they look so badass.
They do, especially I know yours is a B body, but a Mopar A body with fender well headers is just gnarly. I mean, it's just absolutely wicked.
Gnarly, man, right? Throw some wrap on them. Oh my gosh.
I tell you what, like if I would have known I was going to go the route of just not making my Thunderbird it's not really streetable. I would have done a lot more taking fender wells out and going a different route. But it's going to be really, really cool because like my plans are transmission. It's a full competition C6, much higher RPM stall converter, ditching the 430s and a traction lock for 488s and a spool, true 4-link, and a bunch of other goodies that are in the trunk. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I really want a trans brake, which I'll probably end up doing. And
dude, you'll love it.
Come out of the hole
gnarly,
about
man.
4,000 RPMs,
Yeah, they're gnarly, man. Because this was my first trans brake car. I had a couple. One of my buddies come over. He's all Chevy. He's got blower motor cars, and he's like, when we were building this, he's like, Brad, put a trans brake in it. Put a trans brake in it, and we did, man. And man, it's been awesome. So
it'll be a whole lot of fun. I'm really ready for it. We got Buck is in here and Junkyard.
Oh,
Deep.
yeah.
We got a whole bunch of people in here. Oh, and we got someone else joining us. Yeah, it's been really cold here in Illinois. We're working on my friend Micah's truck, getting that completed to get shop space open up on the lift to start working on this thing. But yeah, I can't wait for 2023 No Name Nationals. There's a whole lot of new people.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you think? We think we're gonna have a good turnout this year?
I think we're gonna have a really good turnout, and just by talking to people, I think they're gonna be a whole lot faster than last year. I know a whole handful of people I talk to behind the scenes that are, I'm doing this, I'm doing that.
I'll be faster.
Yeah, and
that's good.
People are really going to be bringing the heat, and I have a time in mind. It ain't going to be the fastest, it ain't going to be the slowest, but it'll be fun. And,
oh yeah, something to reckon with, no doubt.
It will be for as big of a car as it is. It'll be a whole lot of fun. And Brad, I do want to race you.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I'm down, man. I'm down.
Two birds on the opposite ends of the spectrum. Yep.
Oh yeah.
I'm a third bird. I want to be the third bird.
Yes.
You're the third bird.
I got a Trans Am. That's a bird, right?
Yeah, they're all birds. Bird is the word.
Trans Am.
Yep.
But yeah, so Brad, you have a new video out with the Hodaka, right?
The Hodaka. What the hell is a Hodaka? I never even heard of a Hodaka.
Yeah.
I was calling it a Hodaka.
Funny part is, like, growing up, we all had mini bikes, dirt bikes, and like my first like actual like a little mini bike was a Hodaka. And the kid that
Get
I got
out.
it from, no, the kid I got it from, I still talk to him. He's big into collecting Grand Nationals and rebuilding those. And he raced motocross, and it was some piece of shit like his dad or someone had, you know. And I bought it
Yeah.
from him for like next to nothing. And talk about an absolute pure piece
Hey,
of
what's
crap.
up,
But it was
John?
fun. It was absolutely fun.
I'll tell you what, though, if you ever, when you watch my videos, I got like my right hand man's Jeff, right?
Yeah.
So he's a big dirt bike BMX, like from the 80s, you know, he's into all that crap. So when we find that stuff when we're picking, man, he's just like, oh. So we found that bike probably, I don't know, maybe a year ago when I went through this place. This is my buddy Charlie's who has all this junk out there. And we seen the bike, and I'm like, I didn't really think nothing of it. He didn't even think nothing of it. I did this second video where I pulled the worst road runner I've ever had in my life here. And yeah, we seen that Hodaka, man. I had all these comments of people like, grab that Hodaka, Brad, grab that Hodaka. And I'm like, all right, I'll grab it, but I don't even know what the heck it is. So anyway, we grabbed it. It was roasted, but you know, it was cool.
So it's funny you say that. I was born in '79, and I was really big into BMX and freestyle, right? And of course, dirt bikes. My friends were more the dirt bike side. I was more BMX and freestyle, and I had like all that high end stuff. And up until about 10 years ago, I still had it all. And my friend Micah, in the video of the shop, all that stuff was in his attic. And somebody he knows restores that stuff. Was up in the attic looking for something one time and made me this just huge offer. And I'm like, man, you know, my kids were young. It's like, yeah, I'll sell it. Right. And I did. Now I kind of regret it because some of that, I mean, I got a good chunk of change, but man, like some of that stuff you just can't find anymore. But
man, I tell my buddy Jeff when we're out picking, I'm like, dude, I find more Dodge Chargers 68 through 70 than I do these BMX bikes that you're into from the 80s, you know? I mean, they are hard to find.
Yep. Speaking of birds, Buff, you might like his build. Buff, tell Brad and the group of what you're going to be building.
Well, what I'm attempting to build is I had a barn find 82. That's the first year of the third gen Pontiac Firebird. It's an actual Trans Am. So it came with the original 305 turd of an engine. It has definitely launched off some railroad tracks once or twice because a lot of the underneath's torn up.
Yeah.
So I got this harebrained idea that I was going to put an LS in it, which just, I know people love putting an LS and stuff, but I had one laying around. And actually the video of me going to Ed's went live today for the members, which means it'll probably go live tomorrow for everybody else. But just taking the LS down to Ed's, getting a little tour of Ed's machine shop. But with that engine, I needed a transmission. And I thought, well, what is readily available and pretty much in every parts store around America? And that is the drivetrain for a GMT 800, which is your Chevy Silverado, Tahoe, Suburbans, Avalanche, all of those. And so I'm taking the drivetrain, not the frame, just the drivetrain out of a 2005 Z71 Suburban. I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to strategically place it underneath this third gen Trans Am. And we're going to lock her into all-wheel drive and go full send and see what happens. Now, it's going to have the 6-liter out of a Cadillac Escalade. So it's right now 400 horse, 10-to-1 compression. But I have no doubt that Ed's machine is going to tune her up a little bit. We're going to go for a different cam. He's got some secret stuff he's doing to it right now. And then maybe even some turbos. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. He's going to make it so I can run it in A if I need to. It just may not have the same power as if he set it up without turbo. But at this point, we're going to try to set it up for turbo and see if I got the money to do it.
But the nice part is 0 to that.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, he said, now we understand. He says the engine will be done by May. I told him I need at least 2 weeks before the event to put the engine in. Everything else will be ready.
Is that actual May, machinist May, or body shop May?
Contractor May.
Yeah.
Okay, then it's May of 2025.
We could call it, Alaska Pipeline May, which is sometime after Thursday.
Yeah.
Doesn't say what year, but either way, I don't care. I've got more than enough cars to bring regardless, because I've got the 63 Pontiac Grand Prix. I got the 98 Supercharged Grand Prix, and then now a Pontiac Trans Am.
He said May as it may not be ready, but
one thing cool, and I'm sure everyone was on the live with John Wilburn and Dallas, who's in the chat. Everyone's building these cars for the No Name Nationals 2023. The cool thing is I put a link to the AHRA. If you're an AHRA member now or signing up anytime soon, you're eligible for the Racers Rep program through Competition Products and Howard's Cams, which gets you anywhere between 5 and 25% off on parts. And in today's world of inflation and everything else, it's a huge cost saving. So anybody in the chat that hasn't heard that, seriously, go check out joining the AHRA. It's cheap.
Go check out Lukey B.
Lukey
get
a whole
got
Lukey
his
B.
own.
He's the Howard's camshaft guy, and it's going to be really cool. So that's really much appreciated to John and Dallas to help save a little bit of money in our pockets. So people like Brad and Buff and everyone in the chat, we can buy more parts, try to go more faster, and create John and Dallas to pull their hair out when we're skirting the laws and rules of the track this far.
Thanks, Dallas. You're the man.
How many big companies actually have one of their guys participating in the No Name 500 and to be your concierge? That's unheard of. That shows you how much they really want to work with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually takes guys like me who still have never ran on a track, but I've got the itch to do it. I'm bringing cars that probably wouldn't be allowed on most tracks, but it inspired me to build a real car. So, my Breaking Bad car that I'm working on, it's several years out because I actually want to do it right. And I'm going to try to do as best of a race chassis as I can get. And then we're taking a Pontiac Aztec and we're going to drop it on top of that with a biggest engine I can afford and, some decent sized rear tires. And it's going to be legit. I want it to kind of keep up with Redbeard, maybe.
I see Mark, Bigfoot, Mark from Bigfoot's and Mopars is in the chat. I want to say hi to him. I think him and I are going to end up throwing down at the No Name Nationals. It's going to be a Sasquatch versus a Thunderbird, two mythical creatures battling it out on the drag strip. Real quick though, somebody said, Kim from Barrow's Garage says, I've used Howard cams and lifter sets for decades and can tell you for sure Howard's is the way to go, hands down. That's what I have in this, and my engine builder, machinist guy I've been learning a lot from, that's all he's used for a very long time, and it is very quality. Especially if you're going that hydraulic flat tappet way with everything in the world of things failing. You can rest easy at night, a little bit easier at night, knowing at least it's quality.
So let's talk tonal rams. Everybody's doing it this year. Is this the new hotness? Because do I need to throw one on here?
It's like the mullet for engines is back.
Oh man, I feel left out.
Do it. That live I did with Andy Wood about tunnel rams is one to worth go back and watch because you get a lot of tunnel ram knowledge from Andy Wood about how to set them up.
The reason I went with a tunnel ram, it was not in the works at first, right? My original thought was a smaller hood or a smaller hole in the hood with a shaker assembly, right? Kind of like Cobra Jet. I'm like, that just doesn't fit my persona. I like the 60s gassers, street freaks. I like the pro stocks. And I'm like, I am definitely Eric, the RC Cola. Definitely, I want something just obnoxious. This is a grandpa car-ish, and I want to kill that image. So it's like, screw it. Tunnel ram, here we come. And John did have Andy on there about tuning and all that. Prior to that, I was on the phone a lot with Andy. I've tuned a single carburetor, never into this realm of tunnel rams. And it was a whole new ball game. And I got it. I was told, you're going to be making jet changes they're going to be off and on, all this stuff. And he was correct. And Ken from Tall Garage is in the house. Got to say hi to him. But Brad, you need a tunnel ram.
Brad needs a tunnel ram. I don't know. I gotta sell a few more things before I can start getting into that realm.
That's right.
That's another bust out another 1,000 for all that
Mhm.
drama.
It's expensive. It is expensive.
Shoot. I mean, there's just what I'm looking at right now. I'm like budgeting out $4,000 just for a little bit of upgrades and then the trip. The trip, $900 for the gas both ways last year.
Yeah.
And then my buddy John, he called me up. He's like, "Hey, Brad, I'll drive again if you want to go." And I'm like, "Dang, I didn't even have to ask." That's how much fun he had, John.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Testa had a question. What carb is on that? Is that a 500 or 350? These are 650 double pumpers on mine because it's 521
Here's,
cubic inches. It's a lot of cubic inches. It's a lot of fuel, a lot of air, and I'll be honest. The big thing that helped me out with tuning was I bought a wideband O2 setup. Lots of phone calls, lots of research, lots of YouTube videos, lots of trial and error, watching all that stuff, and I got it. And Andy's got these carb sync things. He told me how to make it, and I got everything to make it in. I just haven't made it yet. So you need one. Tunnel Ram's like the in thing for the outcasts.
Well, Jeff, a vacuum gauge and a wideband is about some of the best carb tuning you can have.
Yeah. Yep. I used vacuum gauge, part of the initial setup and all that. It's just time and figuring things out, And the nice part about like these quick fuels, everything comes off very easily. They're very tunable. There's 4-corner idle circuits. You got the little window so you can see your floats. Jets are reasonably cheap. The IFRs are cheap. I mean, they make everything very readily available and cheap. It's just time, figuring it out.
Well, we got plenty of time right now. I mean, unlike last year, I did it, and I still has a good amount of time. But you got buffed last year. I've never drag raced in my life a car. So with putting the car together, with all the practice that I need to do, so I didn't fall on my face when I got the No Name Nationals. So I feel what you're saying when you're saying about it. But yeah, man, I just practiced and it was fine. Now you can do it with your eyes closed. But I was a little nervous. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, Patrick makes a good point. Him and I have talked about this. If you're doing wideband gauges, stay away from Innovative and go with AEM. I bought the Innovative setup and I still have it. It works, but the amount of time it takes to turn on, start registering, and the way it all hooks up is very clunky, and I'm going to swap it out.
The Innovative works. It works a lot better for like the foreign fuel injected cars.
I would agree
really
with that.
does.
And you can buy the AEM setups that are Bluetooth to your phone, so you can data log stuff. Because like I tuned it so it was the correct air to fuel ratio at idle, tip in, driving. But once you start getting all over it, you kind of want to see what's going on. Well, can't really watch a gauge and trying to take a test hit in Cuba with a whole lot of horsepower, when it's getting crossed up. So that'll be check your plugs. Yes.
Hey, Beamer and Son, I don't know if Jed will be there, but he was in the first 10 to register. I know that.
Bigfoot says, don't have a tunnel ram. Got this thing that says 671. I really hope that's 3 digits on a piece of mail than area code.
No, I've got a 671. I've got a 671, but I can't afford to put it on anything. It's just sitting on the shelf looking pretty.
That's a shame.
Yep. It's like $2,000, $2,500 to put it on something.
Yeah.
Because you got to have the intake, you got to have all the, belt
the pulleys
drives
and everything.
Yep. It's
housing.
I was kicking that one around
got the
too.
blower, but it's just sitting there looking pretty.
Yes. It's pretty neat, all that technology with the blowers and all that and how it came about. If anybody doesn't really know where like the old 671s, 871s, and all that came from, watch videos on the old Detroit diesels that literally forced air into these engines, and you'll see why they had those setups on them. It was absolutely cool as hell.
Oh, Patrick says I need to get with Jed. He has connections. Okay, Jed, buffsgarage@gmail.com. Hit me up.
He's probably got one underneath the counter back in his garage laying there now. That guy's got a stash of stuff.
Oh yeah.
I was wondering about his Barracuda, if he's bringing Barracuda out. I started watching his video. I was all hyped up. I'm like, man, he's gonna rip this thing down the street. And then his neighbor got upset with him, and he couldn't do it. I was like, dang it.
Yeah, that Barracuda is pretty neat. Family's garage says it can't afford the 671, can't afford the Ford short block. Speaking of 671s, I was helping Jimmy, my machinist and family friend guy. We were doing some cleaning, and he's got anything and everything laying around. We came across about a dozen 671 blower cases that he had because he was building blowers at one point. All kinds of neat stuff. But honestly, if I really wanted to go old school, I don't think I would go blower. I think I would go mechanical Crower or Hillborn injection, because that stuff.
That's cool. That's crazy.
That stuff is neat. That stuff is really neat.
Mm-hmm. When I see those, man, I'm looking for a gasser.
Yes.
I really don't care.
Yes.
Not saying yours wouldn't be cool, Jeff. I'm just saying.
I know. Jimmy's got a whole bunch of the small block Chevy stuff, and we're gonna be building some cool small block Chevy stuff here. But he's told me how to get all that stuff to work right, and the guy from Holly, his name's Don Enriquez. He was Stu Hilborn's right hand man, and him and Jimmy have known each other forever. And he can literally tell you by how something sounds with that Hilborn injection, or just feeling it, smelling it. And he's like, oh, he knows. It's crazy. Those old timers have a lot of what you would call it, knowledge. A lot of knowledge.
Oh yeah, and we're
okay.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's all right. I see Patrick's got the idea. He wants the tunnel cram, the blower on top of the tunnel ram.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to donate a tunnel ram, I'll put the blower on top of it.
I wouldn't mind having a blower one day on something.
Only do twin turbos.
I definitely want one on the Breaking Bad car, but we're talking years out, a couple years at least, before I can save up and build it.
Yeah. So 2023 No Name Nationals. The person we haven't asked car-wise yet is Travis. What's going on with Copperhead?
Copperhead hadn't been touched. I'm still trying to get red going.
Oh man.
So there's been some things going on, trees on the house, all kinds of stuff. So it hasn't been a good time. I just dropped $2,500 getting a tree removed. So that set me back a little bit.
As you guys know, who's doing the call out so far?
Well, I still got a call out from last year for Jeff. Me and Jeff still got to run.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm supposed to run Daddy's Money Garage.
What are they bringing this year? The same thing?
Yeah, with
same
nitrous.
car, just better.
They're going to be spraying it this year, allegedly. Hey, Dakota, is the rest of that Camaro sorted out and ready to bring? I see you're going to do a tunnel ram, but is the rest of that car ready? Is it up for a 600-mile trip?
Dakota's timeout. Can you make a tunnel ram linkage on the cheap, like JB Weld, a coat hanger to something? When I set mine up, I bought the Enderley style and modified it to work. While it's not cheap, it does work. I'm sure there's some really cool stuff out there online where you could probably make your own linkage setup.
Oh yeah.
We got someone else joining.
Deemer and Son. If you're gonna be racing, what are you bringing?
Hello, Death
What's
Devil.
up, everybody?
What's going on, Brian?
What's up?
Did everybody here see John Cope's latest video of speaking of Brian?
Several of his videos.
Have you seen the one he put up about an hour ago?
Yeah,
No,
but he
what
did
he
one
did?
earlier today that was
Okay,
also similar.
Hang on, I'll play it. Jeff, you can
Oh,
put
bring
this
it.
on screen.
Big
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah, if you haven't
Let me
seen this,
see if I can remember how to do this.
It's the top three little buttons in the corner of
I
John's
want to
screen.
make sure
The top buttons.
everybody's seen this.
Wait a minute.
It's
So
good.
what do I do to do that? You said
You
solo
go over,
layout.
yeah, there you
Got
go.
it.
All right.
So I'm
I'll
filling
make
in
sure
for art. I got to
everybody-
make sure I'm doing it right.
All right,
Oh, you messed
you
it
got
up.
it. All right,
Okay.
Brian, you're just in time. You
Oh,
got it,
I've
Jeff.
seen it. I've seen it.
It's good.
No Name Nationals newsflash. If Brian at Dust Double Garage doesn't get these header bolts in, I'm going to explode. It's just in. Brian says he ain't going to make the No Name Nationals because big, heavy objects keep falling from the sky.
So there you go.
Those are good.
That made my
I do want to
episode.
say, for the record, the header bolts are in. I got them in that night.
Oh, man.
Brad, move over
Yo.
just an inch so people can see that badass Roadrunner real quick. Look at the side of this. For all the new guys, look at that Roadrunner. Doesn't that just scream, I'm going to absolutely kick your ass? I think it does.
There you go.
Look at that.
So all the newbies who should be in this live right now, that's your competition. So get out there and build your car.
Yep. Thanks, 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 Brad.
No worries.
Good looking
Yes,
car.
it is a really good looking car. Just real quick, everybody in the chat, I'm going to go till about 8:30 because Big Mike from Big Mike's Hoopty Barn is going to have a live tonight. And I did set it up. Yes, I did. And I did set it up for him to the redirect thing for my channel, Technologically Illiterate, tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in there for his channel. So around 8:30, if everybody could go over there, that would be great. Because Mike is a great guy. He was a 2022 No Name 500 guy, and he's built himself a pretty good channel. And I think everyone will like what he's doing. It's a variety of things, and it's fun. So yeah, wait, NSB, we got our call out. We got on our call out videos. Brad's Roadrunner is badass. I haven't done any call out videos yet. I'm gonna do mine.
Those guys, Lee spanked me, man. I mean, I was embarrassed. I red lit twice against him. That car was just gnarly, man. That dart, oh
yeah, that thing was
good
pretty
night.
wild. And you know what? That Super B they have, that street car.
Yeah,
Super
you
B.
got to ride in it, man. How lucky were
did.
you?
That thing was just, I mean, it like, I want to say he said it had 391 gears in it. It's a 440 sprayed, 4-speed, and that thing launched. And I got a picture of it. It's actually pulling the front left off a couple inches, and you know that's a really cool car. I think he ran like a 747 with it. That's moving along pretty nicely. And John from the family's garage, he had a nice Super B. He had a nice Camaro. I mean, there was a lot of nice cars.
I was thinking about putting another seat in this car so everybody can ride this year.
I want to ride. I want to ride.
Man, I had a bunch of people out there, family, and like they're just sitting there watching me like, man, if I would have known everybody can ride, I would have put the passenger seat in.
I know one thing I am doing this year is I got a couple more GoPros, and I'm not a huge technology guy. Oh, 355 gears, Dean. Sorry about that. What I'm going to do is have a bunch more GoPros and take the GoPro and just stick it on people's cars. You know, ask them first.
There's a cutoff on riders, and I believe it's 635, and the rider must have the same safety gear as the driver. So just keep those two things in mind if you're going to be doing riders.
635?
I think the cutoff is 635 on riders. I gotta look. I got some notes here from Deke.
Yes.
I'm
So
hoping to
yes.
get a little bit faster than that. I don't know.
So
It may
yes,
be.
Maybe I
John
won't
is
be
right.
putting it in there.
John is right. He is at 8:30 Central, so that's my time, 9:30 Eastern. Patrick says the Duster will show up with a passenger seat permanently mounted for the No Name Nationals. That's a car I have to ride in. I didn't get a chance to last year, but he is like full send king.
Yes,
It's like, hey man, it's 1969. I'm taking off in a Saturn V rocket to the moon, and he's gone. Tim Windsor's in the house. Hello.
He doesn't care if he breaks stuff. He likes to break stuff, I think.
So that's my thing is I do
Yeah,
care if I break stuff, and I keep breaking stuff.
I think I'm gonna go solicit myself this year at No Names and go around to everybody and like pay them $10-20 just to ride. Because sometimes I'm like getting tired of driving this car all the time, so I want to ride in other people's car. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I'll do that.
Oh, the
If anybody wants to
the
give me a
Bird
ride in their
comfortably-
car this year, man, let me know.
You
I'll
can
give
The
you a
Bird's got a
sticker.
diner booth.
You can take
That
a really
Bird's got
slow ride up to the top in the van while we're setting up on Wednesday.
Sure, man. Sure, John. I'll do that.
The Bird's got like a diner booth in the back, so that might be a luxury ride right there.
Yeah. We can pop champagne while you take off the line, man.
Exactly.
That'd be great. I have my
I'm
helmet
gonna be doing some sort of a cage with this, and like I'm looking at it and measuring, and it's like, man, I can't lose any part of that back seat. That's like there's no way that's gonna happen.
That was the one thing Ford did perfect on those T-Birds. Just about every year T-Bird, the interior was off the chain. I love those.
Yeah.
If you watch Mike Finnegan building that caddy, that was his big caveat. He wanted to save the back seat, even with the big wide tires under it. He was trying to save that back seat. I don't know if he's
I was watching that today. Mm-hmm.
Yep. He's trying.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be an absolute whole lot of fun this year. I really had a blast last year. I kind of got a kick in the nuts when I broke my transmission, but I went and had a really good time. All these people I've got to know was, phenomenal. Want to give a shout out to my next project. But real quick, it's like, for me, it was like, you got to know all these people. So anybody that's new to the No Name 500 and you participate in this community's lives, you're going to quickly figure out, you get to know all these people. So I know John said this, and Buff and Brad, everyone said this. When you show up, you hear a voice, you already know that person.
Yep.
And I didn't get to drive my car, and obviously, but I still had an absolute blast. I wouldn't have traded it for the world at the time. Definitely not.
Man, I couldn't stop thinking about that for about a week after I got home here, man. I was down. That was such an awesome time, man.
I'm still lit up. I had that little lull during the holidays where I was like, kind of bummed out. The weather sucked, couldn't do anything. And now that John has announced this next one, it's like, ramp back up. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
We went to a nostalgic drag race. I took the Beep Beep over there about 2 months ago, all old school cars and stuff like that. But the camaraderie, I mean, obviously it's drag racer camaraderie, but it was nothing like what we had at the No Names last year. I'll tell you that right now.
That's the whole point of the subscribers. That's the whole point of the subscribers. That's been probably the single most misunderstood thing of the event is that when people have to invest in a channel, it forces them to become members of the community. And that's why we had no problems there. That's why everyone knew who each other was. That's the whole point of it.
I think everybody was waiting for something to break so they could jump in and help them work on it,
I brought my own broken stuff, so it worked out great.
Oh, man.
But that thing ran when we left. It ran and drove when we left. It still runs and drives.
What happened to it when it got there?
It wasn't done when it got there.
Oh, okay.
It sat for 40 years under a tree, and I pulled it out with 90 days left before the event. And the basically the frame and the trunk and everything, gas tank, all that was rusted out and gone. So I had to rebuild all that. And
Yeah, I watched the video on that.
yep.
That thing
And
was
then
rusted bad.
the rear springs were bad, and so I just air rided the whole thing, which honestly was probably the funnest part of the whole build, was laying that thing out. But then we got the engine running, put the transmission in. Never tested the transmission until we got to No Name. It had been sitting under a porch for a very long time, and hey, it ran. Just needed a lot of fluid.
Yeah.
So I
But
mean,
you know what? You
anybody
made
can
it.
do it. Yep.
You made it. You drove the car around the pits, and you got it on the track for the group photo. So
And
you know
it's
what?
the
I'm calling that a
fastest.
win.
There's a fastest 63 Grand Prix at the event.
You ever seen
That's
the
right.
movie Gung Ho, where they have to make
Yes.
so many cars? Okay, you were like the movie Gung Ho. There might have been a few that didn't have engines and weren't right, but you know what? I'm calling it good. I'm saying you made it.
I had to wipe the windshield even though it wasn't there.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm saying you made it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
Yep. Cement
And
Surfer
really-
did the same thing. So if you're not done, bring it to the event. We have tools and time. We'll fix it.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
no doubt.
Hey, Wendy, check this out. Like the first 8 times people ask me that this week, I still don't answer because it's the worst way for people to try to create prejudice against whether this event is worth going to or not. I'll tell you this. The No Name 500 guys are on my homepage. You saw what we had last year, and we're on course to be bigger this year.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing else to know. No number will help you evaluate whether or not you want to be there.
And all the guys that went last year, almost all of them are coming back again. So now you've got all the new ones that are on the page, plus all the ones coming back. And some of us are bringing more than one car. So it's going to be a bigger event regardless.
Well, what's kind of nice too is there's other events No Name guys are getting together at. A lot of us
We got the
together
truck gathering.
We got a lot of us getting together at the PRI. A lot of us are getting together at Indy. Buff just went down to Edge Machine. So it's kind of No Name Nationals community is definitely tight knit, but as a group, these people
But we're everywhere.
Yeah, I haven't told Brad yet, but I hired the Beastie Boys to play at his place July 4th. And I invited all the No Name guys.
Wait.
Hell yeah.
Where are you out of, Brad? Because I might need
North
to
Carolina.
I'm
That's how
there.
many registered channels.
Yeah, so I've already got to go to Kentucky because someone wants to sponsor an episode and they donated a backup transmission and transfer case for the Trans Am. And so if I just want to steer off that way somewhere around July 4th, let's make that happen.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
I'll watch the Beastie Boys. That'd be a good time.
I've seen the Beastie Boys a couple of times, man. I'm a huge music concert guy. And the No Name National is so important to me. My whole summer, which is normally concert and music festival all the time, I didn't go to a single one. So I could make
I'm going to Tenacious D in
grinding.
May. I figure that's about the biggest concert I can do right now. Tenacious D.
We just went to Rage Against the Machine.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that was pretty good.
I go to Lollapalooza every year and Riot Fest, and that's usually a blast. But 500,000 people, which is fun.
Shoot.
But if I could hire the Beastie Boys, Brad, I would probably pull a prank like that on you just for shits and giggles.
Man, I'd really appreciate that, my man.
That would be so funny. Patrick, if No Name Nationals 2023 was next week, I would be there. I would too, but my skinny little Illinois ass doesn't like cold weather, wouldn't be too comfortable, but I'd still be there.
Car would like it.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. It's
Warmer than where you are?
Mm-hmm.
Right now it's 7 and mostly cloudy, according to the weather thing.
It was in the 50s here. It's still 47.
That's why I'm not in the shop. 7. No.
Shoot.
Mark says he will be at Indy Swap Meet this year. Mark, I'm going to be there on Friday. I don't know if I'm going to be there Saturday or not, but if you are, since there's a really good chance the 2 mythical creatures are going to throw down this year, we got to do some kind of a funny video on that. So it'll be kind of fun.
How's the
But that's
monkey bike
kinda-
looking this year? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, mine. It's right
No,
there.
yeah, I know yours is bad to the bone, but how's everybody else? Is there going to be a lot of monkey bikes this year?
There's snow in Sykeston right now.
Right on. Let's get out there and do burnouts.
There should be some monkey bikes. We will see. There should be. It looks like there's more interest, but see, here's the thing you don't know. There are people that you know stone solid are going to be there, and you know they're just going to not register until August.
Oh, of course.
And then there are other people that we have no idea are out there that they're going to register tomorrow. They're like, who's this guy? That's the thing about trying to give registration numbers for this. It's nothing but a number that will cause people to conjecture, and it just creates misinformation because it just doesn't work.
Yep.
But I can tell you this, we're ahead of where we were last year on registrations, and I see absolutely no indication to suggest that we will not have significantly more entries. And then a huge thing is that I would say a lot of the no-name 500 class that made it has already registered. That's why the no-name 500 class itself is a little smaller. We've got 17 right now, but that's because so many of them made it.
Right.
And we still have 17. So that's really good.
Yeah,
And that doesn't
it's
include Dakota and his brother who have yet to register.
I'm calling those two guys the Duke boys.
Yeah.
Well, that's just it. We got two sets of brothers. You got, the Punisher boys, and then you got the other boys that need to sign up.
Yeah.
I want to have a brothers team bracket. I've got some ideas for that. I just need more than one pair of brothers to register.
We should do a team race.
That's what that's exact. I want to do a brothers team bracket, but I'm waiting for more than one pair of brothers to register, and I want to roll that out, but I can't do it if there's only one pair of brothers who are actually registered.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
I think somebody should come up with a team call out,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, team call out, something like that.
You get groups of people who are all friends together. You should have a team call out where everybody races and the most wins.
The Mafia, I'm just going to talk shit right now, would take the cake on that one.
I don't know. The Pontiac team's looking pretty good. Just saying.
Let's see here. Now, I will say one thing. The Rob and Jason there, I know that Big Block 402 and his brother want to compete, but I'd like to have, because we have four brothers who are 23 years old and younger. And see, to me, that could be a bracket in itself. But I need to look and see, because are both of the Jason's Garage Inc. and Rob's Rods and Streetcars registered? I can't remember off the top. I know Jason is.
I did a genealogy test before this live. Patrick and I are brothers.
You gotta draw.
I'm brothers with a lot of the no-name people. Just didn't realize it until I met them.
Okay,
you gotta do draw numbers out of a hat, man.
I mean, I like you.
Otherwise,
all
the teams will
my
be
actual
stacked.
family.
Testa, what are you working on?
The teams would be so stacked. I don't know if it would really work. Like, see, there are some things that aren't bad ideas, but you need to have enough.
What am I working on?
Yeah,
you got to have enough people and enough pool to make it work.
Trying to get my Firebird put back together and welding quarters on it now.
I knew that. See, there's another Pontiac.
Yep.
Another Pontiac. So we got another Team Pontiac guy.
Woo!
Dang. Shoot.
Well, it might be a Pontiac. If something happens to the Pontiac between now and September, then I'll probably drive my Chevy. So
yeah.
Well,
but it'll still be a GM.
We'll just put a Pontiac logo on it. It'll be fine.
No. Hey, look at this. Rob's at 410 subs. He'll be there shortly.
He would be in second in the no-name 500 right now.
You're going to make it no problem.
It sounds like Dean's got a family reunion coming. Buck does it.
So,
he needs a Buick team. Well,
him in Dallas.
Yeah.
Junk Car Willie.
Yeah, there's a Buick.
He's got that Riviera.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Remember that.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you
he
go,
was getting
Patrick.
down with that thing.
He's looking to drive something else this upcoming year, but I think he ought to take that and put a little more in it.
Jay's Artemis,
Yeah,
the
that thing-
fastest Pontiac
That
ambulance.
thing runs. That thing runs
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
good too. You couldn't
I
get
like
it hooked up.
Patrick's
Buick.
idea. Patrick's idea: Pontiac versus Plymouth. We got this.
Anybody else driving a foot clutch stick shift? Well, NSB has got the B that's a stick shift car.
Well, nobody's driving
The
a
Brewer,
clutchless.
Brewer Racing. Brewer Racing had that nasty GTX four
Yeah.
speed.
Well,
That thing was
Punisher had it for
gnarly.
about, I don't know, 60 feet.
Yeah. Right.
He's
Oh
going-
yeah, I
Heat
remember.
this year.
I watched the video on that.
He's going TH400 this time.
Andy's in the house. He must have heard Tunnel Ram Mafia.
Yeah.
Who's going to run the low ET? And what's it going to be in?
Okay, so I'm kind of thinking as far as something that's streetable, low ET, I am going to put my money on Ray with a 575.
If he's got that TH400 ready, it's going to definitely kick some butt.
Well, that's subject. I mean, the Nelson's Volvo is a drag and drive car, so it's streetable. I mean,
What
is what's the low ET going to be, and what's it going to be, and who's going to put it in what?
So just
Low
anything.
I think Redbeard
Is he going to bring
tricks
boost?
up his sleeves, right?
Is he
does.
bringing
We all know
boost? That's the question.
that. I'm gonna have to say a lot of laughing gas.
Redbeard's
And-
going to spray a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Redbeard. Write this down, John. Ready? Redbeard at a 491.
Wow.
Redbeard's got a shot at getting in the fours.
I could see it, but holy cow, that's fast.
What
All right,
about
what
what
do you-
about
what
the
do you-
Red
what
what
do you
about the
think,
Red
Ryan?
Z? What about the Red Z, man?
I don't
That
know
car
if
was
they'll
gnarly,
bring the
too.
Z or they
It
will bring the
is.
Volvo.
Oh, they got to bring the Volvo. Got to bring the Volvo.
Okay, so Jeff is saying Redbeard with a 491. How about you, Brad? Who's going
So
to run
the
the
Red
low
Z,
ET? What?
the Red Z isn't coming this year. You said.
It may. I don't know.
I think Redbeard's.
I mean, I was, yeah, I'm all, I think Redbeard, man. I think for sure. With I don't know. I'm gonna say low fives.
That's
Low
kind of what I'm
fives.
thinking. I got Redbeard in a 5.0.
Now,
I mean, he
here's
was
the,
gnarly.
here's
That
kind
car
of
was just straight gnarly.
a very unknown one. The fastest truck. Here's why I say that. You got the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde behind the scenes working on Mr. Haney with John Cope, right? You have no idea what that guy's going to do. But you have Dr. Art, who has massively increased the power and capabilities of that little Ford Ranger. Ken from Tall Garage, same thing. Jason from Jason's Garage, same thing.
What
Little
about
truck.
Andy?
That's where
Yeah,
I'm going.
Andy.
You got Andy with Casper, but
Mhm.
here's the ringer out of all of it. Luke from Luke B's, the Howard Camshaft guy. He's got a legit Ford powered Ranger that weighs, nothing. That's
Nothing.
legitimately fast, like very, very, very fast. And then here's a good one for you. You got Levi. Who does a little
Levi,
teaser of like a parachute. And then you have guys out of nowhere, like last year, James and James.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, right there. So there's a lot of unknowns. I'm going to have the fastest 1968 Ford Thunderbird.
Oh man.
The fastest with that VIN.
The fastest with that VIN.
Oh man.
Then you got to think. Okay, this is where like strategy comes in. You have people like Patrick who is going to bring the heat. That thing's going to be just rowdy. I'm not giving anything away, but he sent me some pictures today, and it's like, geez, if that's nice, So you do have you're going to have a lot of fast cars, And
I
like,
predict that I will be the slowest car on the biggest tires.
The baddest duster, man. That thing's gnarly.
I could be slower in the 63 if I simply let all the air out and just ride on, bump stops.
Hey, Brian, is that car longer or wider? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I need to measure it. Or taller in the back. You also got taller in the back. I had Scott from Heavens Mopars out there, and after the race, and he was standing behind the car, and it was like up to here on the top of the bumper. It was up to here. I was like, oh my god.
So, you got other ringers in this group. Mark just mentioned something about 671.
Hey, I'll throw a little something else out there, too. There are other cars that may show up this year that you guys don't know about. And I know.
I was going to say, there's the unknown out there that we really don't even know yet.
Well, you got that guy. You got that guy with that rear engine funny car, right? He
runs mid fives.
So but you know what? He's probably listening on. You got to do your homework, on this type of stuff. I know he is. I've been looking at. Yeah, and so there could be a lot of ringers. Just my observation. If cars are going to be super fast this year, you're going to have a lot of super unique cars. Buff is going to have a very unique car.
That's my goal. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's unique. There's a lot of stuff that is like vintage, cool, like pure Pontiac garage. All those Pontiac guys that have the vintage iron stuff is really, really, really cool. Brad's thing that he pulled out, that thing just screams cool.
Did
Dust
you see
Devil's building a Hot Wheels car. But in reality, I guess it's not the times we're running, it's just the times we're having while people are running.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt. I can't wait to see look at that. I can't wait to see Bad Trees dart, man.
I know.
I like
that thing.
Dart.
Is sick.
I like that orange dart. I really
do. That
I
thing is
sick,
man.
NSB's bringing some anti-venom. I like that.
Oh, yeah. Mark's got that 63 Belvedere. So that no one's really seen a whole lot of that, And
Did you see,
right here.
Did you see Noah landed that demon?
Yeah.
Dude, he's bringing that, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Everybody's going to be quicker this year. It's going to be a lot quicker field.
It's going to be a very fast field. I like that. Oh, yeah. Buck. What about Mike Honcho? Yeah, Brad and I were talking about that last night. Brad, we were discussing it, Honcho coming, but his friend that tunes all that, he's trying to make it, and those guys are no joke down there,
Right.
I know what his dyno numbers were before he went to the tunnel ram and ethanol setup. That car's not fooling around. He hooks that thing up, it's going to run some serious numbers.
Yeah.
That video is hilarious, John, that he did for you of who's coming back. I was dying on that one, man.
I got copyright flagged for his music in that. I woke up one morning weeks later to a copyright claim. What in the world is this? And then I scrolled back through them. There it is. I don't care, but I thought it was funny.
Yeah, that car's gnarly, man.
Mike's going to be running a legit drive. It's not going to have a carriage bolt through it. Come on, man.
Hey, it held long enough.
Yeah. The second
he's bringing the Charger this time, huh?
Well, and like you said, there's people that you don't know. I know we were talking on Jason's live last week. He's got a friend that he thinks there's a chance if his schedule works out, he could show up. I'm not going to say who it is. You guys got to go watch Jason's garage.
Yeah. Yeah, David's supposed to be there with the LS Stang. That's going to be crazy. The Mike Honcho Redemption Tour. Now, I didn't see Ryan on here. I'm not the type of person to talk to anybody. I know Ryan personally, but I am going to play a little joke on him. There might be like boxes and boxes and boxes of Orville Redenbacher showing up for him. Just have people hand. There's like, give it out to all of you guys, and people like, if you see Ryan, just give him these. Amazon's got great deals on that shit. So. That'd be some good video.
Till he goes out there and just starts spanking everybody.
Yeah.
He goes into
Let's
wild
hope so.
madman mode.
Yeah.
He deserves that. Let's hope he does.
Oh, dude. If anybody does, it was him, man.
I have PTSD from all the shots fired.
Yeah.
I was right across from him. I heard that for 2 days straight.
Yeah.
That's the greatest part is like we can sit here and just run our mouths at each other. No one really cares. And go out there, win, lose, or draw. Nobody gives a shit,
Yeah, it's just fun.
Yeah, it is.
Brad, you must thought you were on the range of basic training with all that popping.
I was having Iraq flashbacks.
We're gonna have to pit Ryan at the burnout box next year. But yeah, it's gonna be a really good time. I'm really looking forward to it. To me, it's going to be, we're going to go out and run, have a whole lot of fun. And, Brad, when I wave at you after I go by you, don't take it personal.
All right. That's all right. Just let me know if you're sneaking. Just let me know if you're sneaking nitrous, like Mopar Joe, man. He had sneaky Pete under there. I had no idea. I'm over there going, why is he blowing by me? That car ain't as fast as this one.
Yes, this other guy, he built that 400, and he's got the what do you call it? Oh, he's got a news flash on, but he's got that 400. He's going to spray. I just want to go there and have a really good time. That's my whole goal.
John, I need a sponsor of a aluminum drum for my trans. You good with that?
By the way, did you see Joe's contest?
Yes.
So somebody who can guess his dyno numbers are going to win a pair of tickets to the No Name Nationals. So
nice.
Yeah. And a T-shirt. Yeah, I was just watching that today.
Yeah, I did too. I put my numbers in there. It's going to be. He could be another part of the Tonoram Mafia. He decides to go with that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Fun.
No doubt. Tonoram's where it's at this year.
It's kind of nice. I like the turbo stuff, but you're kind of seeing some of that resurgence of the old school stuff, and I really like that.
Hey, make sure when you guys put up your new videos, you hashtag No Name Nationals and then hashtag Tonoram.
Making a note of that.
Yeah, because that's where everybody's going. That's the new trend this year.
That's the new trend. That's the new trend.
Yeah.
How come YouTube's taken over by these things called Tonoram? We thought it was synthwave.
There's probably something in some other part of the universe called a Tonoram that we don't even want to know about. And that hashtag's already taken.
Kind of like WAIC.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Man,
you'd think for an event that's happening in 5 months, we would see something on that.
Oh man, I'm not going to say the guy's name on this, Brad, but somebody decided to go a little hairy, and they were talking about creating their own event, and the hashtag was WAIC. But when you actually use that hashtag in reality, it's like, where are all the Indian children? It's some campaign looking for certain children and all that. And it's like, oh, I would definitely done a little bit of homework on that one.
Oh man, that ain't good.
Yeah. But yeah, 2023 No Name Nationals. For anybody that's new out there, a little bit of advice. A lot of us on here literally had no subscribers or very few. Buff, myself, I started with 0 in January of last year.
I started in December.
Brian, Bear Rose, we didn't have anything. And what we started doing was participating in lives, getting to know people, and taking people's advice on making videos, what to do, and all that. A lot of great guys out here. Everyone has their own, I guess, persona and way to do things. But the one thing I'll say is if somebody says a tripod and a microphone and thumbnails, listen to them, because that does make a huge difference.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing content creator workshops again here before long. So with 17 No Name 500 guys and growing, it's about time.
Yeah. And Mindy makes a good point. I had Don take the in off my van by November.
All right, I got you, Irish Outlaw. I got you. I know what is gonna be a call out.
You don't have to do call outs secretly. You can just do them on YouTube.
There's a Turbo LS tunnel ram. Maybe I need that.
I was really reluctant to take call outs last year because this year I'm like, dude, whoever wants to call out, let's just go. I'll race everybody. I don't even care.
Yep.
Oh man, that's a good point. That's a real good point. If you don't have 60 frame per second setting on your camera and you have LED lights, it might get weird looking on your videos. Never thought about that, but you're right.
Wipe off your lenses too, gentlemen.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm bad for that.
I use my phone and I'll be at the shop and I'll be doing something and it's got like grease and shit on it and it's like, oh.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you see it right on the video too, man. It's horrible. Hate that.
Looks like a big haze.
Yep, the haze.
And that's the other thing is Wendy made a good point. Don't hashtag it, hashtag NNN. That's actually stands for something else.
Yep.
You know what? The hashtag thing is like email. Close enough doesn't count. Like you can't misspell something in someone's email. It doesn't work. And hashtags don't work if you don't have no name national spelled out completely. Abbreviations just don't work for those.
Currently, if I get to NONA, it automatically populates.
You're right. Yeah.
I
look for it because I can't spell it.
We're number 7 on Google under things that start with NON. That's talk about a trending tag. That's pretty stout.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It is. It is a very trending stout. No.
There's about 7,200 videos tagged No Name Nationals right now.
There is.
Number 7 on Google worldwide. That's
under
amazing.
NON.
Yep.
Look at our hashtags against any of the motor trends, any of that stuff. Blow them away.
Yep.
Oh, if you put NON on in the search engine on YouTube, you're number 4.
Oh, we may be up now because people are making more videos. We were 7 last I looked.
And the bigger names, I know it's the No Name National, but the bigger names are paying attention. They know what it is.
Oh yeah, they are.
Oh really? That's good.
I'm getting a lot of people asking me, and of course, everyone that knows me, the first thing they say is, "Are you going back to No Name Nationals?" And the answer is yes. Of course I am.
Yeah.
I could not bring a car like Jeff did and just have every bit as much fun. It was so much fun.
And which was kind of unique for me because I should have planned it better and did more filming, but I was like a kid in candy store meeting everybody, talking, having a good time, hopping in cars, riding monkey bikes, shooting the shit with people. It was a really, really good time. And
it was hard to remember to film with everything going on.
It was because you didn't really care because you filmed all year.
Yep.
I
asked for a lot of video from a lot of people. I'm like, hey, so why don't you send me that video?
Yes.
I'm gonna need that.
I had my cousin family. I had a bunch of family out there, but my cousin had his he had his daughter and his daughter's friend. They're like 14. And I just made them take the camera. I said, film everything. I'll edit it all out. Just film. I don't care what you film. That's how I got it. Because it's tough to film when you're in the mix,
Yep.
And one thing I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to bring a bunch of GoPros and literally extra batteries and just walk up to whoever, like, I'm sticking this on your car, this on your car. And, whatever, and just, I'll, pass it around and then, and go back and edit stuff.
Yeah, that would be cool. There was a few guys doing the GoPros on the front of the cars, which I kind of wished I would have done because all my shots were in with me,
I did one on Joe's like that, and it was pretty neat. I took some cool video from the starting line, which I'm going to do a whole lot more next year.
Yeah, you were on there. Yeah,
it's going to be a whole lot of fun. But the best part about it was like nobody really even cared about filming. That was the last thing on their mind, and
yeah,
but true. A lot of good video footage did come out.
I will say that when I fired up the Grand Prix, all of a sudden, and you can see it in my video, there's like 6 or 7 cameras all around me. I didn't have to film any of it because everyone else did. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, there were some great shots out there. People were getting all kinds of different angles.
Yep.
I think I had one guy film through the knot hole in the fence. Like he was on the other side of the fence where the heads were, and he came through with the camera and it shot the whole starting line, which was a real great shot. I don't know what car he was filming. I don't know if it was mine or not. It was cool.
Levi says, if you can get a suction cup GoPro on my crappy paint, you're welcome to it. I'm going to try it. I don't care if it falls off. Give it a shot.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Is you have a bunch of flat black paint on the bottom of your GoPro when you pull it off on my car.
Well, what you can
And
do
I have a
is
big red spot on the car.
stick it on the glass.
Yeah.
Right in the, you know, and or
I got a lot of gaff tape. I'm just saying, we can suction cup and gaff tape it to the window. It'll stay.
Yeah, I know. Like out playing around Jason's garage when I just got a channel going. He sent me an old GoPro Hero, and I was playing around with it. And I got some really cool footage, like low. I put it like really low on the car on the back. I set it up where it was facing the tunnel rams, looking, you know, the carburetor's looking down. You hammer it. I mean, there's so many cool things you can do with the GoPro.
Well, then again, my car's going to be so slow. You could probably just set the GoPro on the roof.
Come on, man. Come on. You got a tunnel ram.
Just set the tripod on the roof. It'll be fine. It's not going anywhere.
Is that what everybody's using these days? Is everybody GoProing it? What's
See,
like? What are you using, Jeff? Like, what do you?
I use my phone with Canva and Splice, but I'm getting more into the GoPro stuff. I'm not there yet where I feel comfortable making a video, but like once summer hits and I can get this thing out and play around and really play around with editing software, I'm going to go that route on some video, but phone for like shop video.
I use a GoPro for everything.
I go GoPro Max when I'm off the line. That's in with me right over my shoulder because it's a widescreen shot, so it gets pretty good. And then phone when I'm on the fly, like if I'm going picking or whatever. The only thing I like about my phone is I get that underwater. You know, when you ever hear videos underwater, it gets that weird feedback off the speaker. But then when I'm vlogging, I got a Canon, and that seems to do all right.
Yeah, I've got a Canon DSLR, but I'm about to upgrade to, I got to look at it, Panasonic Lumix G85. That's what Dalton has, and Jay from Irish Outlaw just graduated up to. And it's a little spendy, more expensive than my Canon, but man, the quality is just night and day. So I still got the GoPro, still got the phone, still got my Canon. But
yeah, I got
it's kind of like my drone. I bought a drone. It was $250. And it was okay. It was okay, but then it hit a tree and died. So then I upgraded to the Mavic drone, and it was $500. And again, night and day. So it was worth it. It's double the cost, but it was worth it because it is an amazing drone.
Yeah.
My son's always asking me, he's like, Dad, when are you going to do a drone? And I'm like, bro, I'm up to my ears in camera cords and USB cords and batteries. I said, the last thing I want to do is get a drone out here.
The one thing I love about it is, number one, the camera stays stable all the time. The old one, when you'd move, the camera would move with the drone, where this new one, the camera stays, on point all the time. And it's got a GPS in it, and then it's got a tracker so that you're running it with your phone and a remote control, but it tracks your phone. So you can actually put it to track you, get in your car and drive, and that drone will follow you and actually come around to the front of you, or it'll follow behind you, however you want it to do it. That's the extra $250 you pay for, is that extra technology.
Yeah, because it's already bad.
If you're going to buy one, if you're going to buy one, that's, at least spend the extra money.
I mean, you already feel kind of weird talking to yourself to a camera with nobody around. Now you start talking to a drone. So I guess
and it's following you. It's like, hey, buddy.
Like, hey, it's your new friend.
Yeah. I know some things I've seen in like the body mount ones for GoPros and stuff like that. That's kind of neat. I don't know what that would look like. I know I finally edited my mini bike race against Daddy's Money Garage. I stuck that thing on my head, right? But you're constantly moving your head. So, I mean, I guess you're getting the perspective of the driver, but at the same time, it makes for some choppy, video.
Yeah, and you're wondering, you can't see the back of it. So you're like, okay, am I filming straight down to the ground? Am I up in the air? It's like you're just hoping for the best. You ask your buddy, like, how does it look? Yeah, that camera stuff, man, that's a whole nother ball game. People don't realize how much work it is to get this stuff on film, man. It's a lot. Don't even talk about starting to edit these videos out, because we could go down that rabbit hole too.
Oh man,
well, that was another thing about No Name Nationals, is that was one of the first times I was ever in a big group of people and talking to my phone talking to my phone or my GoPro, it didn't feel weird because everybody else was doing it too.
Yeah, it does. It feels funny.
It is quite interesting when you get into that type of stuff, and I need to get better with the editing piece. That's what I've been playing around with, so I'll be able to do more GoPro and some other camera style footage. But it's so easy with this when you edit on it and do everything like that. I mean, I can edit a video down quick, and but I'm gonna change some things up just to see how it works out from there. It's a whole lot different shot time, or like at a car show if you're just spectating. But if you're racing or driving, I have a mount in my car for this, which is kind of neat. But I don't want to go put this outside of my car.
No, yeah, true.
I did lose a GoPro. I had found another one, and I had it suction cup to the car. And I was out in Cuba making all kinds of test hits, burnouts, you name it, and it's gone. I lost it. I couldn't find it. And whoever has it, they got some really cool footage. I know that. But
yeah, no doubt. I seen a video of some guy in Cuba doing burnouts and stuff. He got like 100,000 subscribers.
That's so much fun. Like, one of the reasons, Brad, I want to get better at editing, so if there's any signs or markers, I can blur them out, because I have a draggy and all that, and you just saw that guy that got in a bunch of trouble doing the draggy stuff on YouTube, and it's like,
what did he do? No, back brief me. I don't know. What are you talking
about? There was a guy who was putting his draggy footage up, and he got in a shitload of trouble. It was on YouTube. I don't remember the channel name or anything like that, but
he basically provided the evidence for them to prosecute him.
Yeah, I think there was more to it than that.
I think there was too. Somebody had to.
I don't see why they'd be going and looking through the guy's freezer in his garage and looking into his stuff like that if they were just going to do something about street racing.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just going to be a little bit more careful.
I watched one the other day, man. This guy, he was driving this Winnebago, and he was taking it to the campground, and it was like just old ratty Winnebago. And he's like, yeah, we're riding dirty, no insurance, no registration. And I'm like, cool, man, that's awesome. You throw that right out there too. That's great. I'm gonna start doing that too.
Yeah. I'd tell you a funny one. I was out playing in fall, and I live rural, but there's kind of a little enclave of houses, and I was out just hammering on it. Mind you, it's pretty much just open headers, and I knew it was time to get home, and I got home, pulled in the driveway, and sure as shit, they're county driving around. They never come through here, it's like, yeah, somebody.
Yeah.
They're giving me the warning.
Yeah, you are out there, man. I seen all the silos out there.
Yeah. And that's where I go scale cars. Like, we've scaled cars out there forever, and they don't care, and it's kind of neat. So at 8, probably about another 10 minutes here, because at 8:30, Big Mike is having his live.
Big Mike?
I set it up on my to redirect him. I don't know how that works. If somebody wants to put a link in here, how does a redirect work? Do I
think his has to start before this one ends. It has to be going.
But then they have to click on it to start it, I think.
I don't know. I know.
Put it in
I
front of
know.
them.
Barrows knows about it because he redirects to me every Saturday.
Okay. But yeah, I can't wait, guys. 2023 No Name Nationals. First thing first, we got to get to nice weather. People got to get cars built, start talking shit to everybody to call out and race and have a good time. And for the new guys out there, if you hear people razzing each other, it's tongue in cheek. It's all for fun. It really is. We're going out there to have a really, really,
don't
really
take
good
anything
time.
too serious.
Yeah. John hosts a live every Friday night. Dallas hosts a Tech Live every Wednesday night. Multiple channels here. They have lives throughout the week. There's Pontiac Power Hour with Buff and Ray on Thursday nights. You got Saturday Night Live stuff with Dust Devil and Jed and that group of guys. Barrows on Saturday. You have Buck on Saturday doing channel reviews. I mean, it's really turned. Oh, and Dr. Art, I'm filling in for every Monday. Jason's Garage every Tuesday. So every night of the week, at some point, you're going to have a different live to tune into.
Well, that's the way we have it. That's the way we have it set up. With it goes from Buck. Buck transfers all his people over to Barrows, and then Barrows transfers all his people over to me. So if you wanted to watch lives from the afternoon late into the evening, you could. And just stay in one place and just keep getting transferred over.
Yep. And like I said, Jason's tomorrow night. He does really good lives. There's tech lives. There's fun lives. There's
don't forget Wednesday. Don't forget
Dallas.
Wednesday. Dallas will be live with Professor P and Luke from Howard's Cams on their live on Wednesday, and they'll be able to tell you more about the Competition Plus discount Racers Rep benefit for AHRA members.
Yes.
On Wednesday.
So all you guys out there, there's always a lot of good lives. That was a really good informative one that John had. I'm not going to recap it all here. You can watch his live. I'll probably butcher it. Basically, join the AHRA, get discounts on parts from Competition Products and Howard's. It's quality stuff. Support the AHRA, the American Hot Rodding Association.
That's right.
Blake's
here, huh?
Yeah, Blake's house.
Oh, Blake's here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Irish. Thanks for pointing that. Square Body and Perpetual Projects on Tuesdays. They kind of do a live, then go into an after live, and they're usually pretty good. It's always a lot of fun, and like new guys like Dakota, he's been around for a while, and he's going to be participating this year. He is going to get all his subs. He's going to get that Pontiac done. And he's going to go out there and race, and he's going to have a really good time.
He's got to sign up. You got to
register for any of that matters.
And I'm telling you, I registered with 0 subs from a personal reason. One of them, if I spent that money, I have to invest in myself to see it through. If you don't spend the money, you can just be like, nope. But I did it as far as I registered to invest in myself, force my feet to the fire and do it. And the other part about it is, if you're a registered participant, this, that, and the other, your chances of being promoted are much, much higher.
That's the big reason to do it. You get on the radar sooner. And it's a commitment. It's a commitment.
Yes.
Think about it. Yep. I'm committing to tens of thousands right now, whether anybody signs up or not. So I'm not being hypocritical asking anybody else to wager bet $8,250 on themselves. I'm betting $25,000 on myself.
And $8,250 is cheap for a whole weekend of racing. That's cheap.
Yeah, no doubt.
You got to be in the book, though. Once you're in the book, you're on the radar. You get on my homepage. That's where Buck starts picking you up, and all these other guys start picking you up and noting your sub count.
Yep.
It's worth it to register early.
Yep. So it's very worth it.
Dakota, you'd be at 200 if you've been registered for the last month. Just saying. Look at the guys who've registered and how quick their subs have come up.
Chucky blew up.
You can
Chucky's
see
doing
it.
really good. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Somebody had a question here. We're talking about AHRA.
Yeah, Indirect Connection was asking something I wasn't sure about. But I will say, if you have a fan-only membership for $35, that is still a member. You will still have a member number, and you can still use it for a discount at competition products. It's well worth it. That's a stout discount.
It is. Especially if you're
and
doing
for
multiple
people who
projects.
don't know, I didn't know until today. Indirect connection. That's Jason from Rapid Transit. He's
Yes.
wanting
Oh,
to get
okay.
his own 500 this year. I didn't know that. I mean, he was on my live all night or Saturday night. I didn't know.
Yes. And you'll put in perspective, Barrows makes a good point. It's way cheaper than a lot of other events that don't do half as much. I've been to hundreds and hundreds of drag racing events. And I can tell you right now, a lot of those events, by the time you pay just your ticket to get in yourself, a lot of them have parking and all this other stuff. You're way, way more money just in that. And this isn't year round. There is no break from the No Name Nationals.
I'll say this. The registration fees went up by $7.50, and I guarantee you I'm going to have at least 2 to 3 times more than that in each participant this year just in overhead, because we're doing some new stuff this year. We got some really cool surprises for you.
Yeah. It's going to be a blast. Can't wait for everybody be out there drag racing, carrying on, having a good time, and going to Lambert's. That was probably one of the bigger highlights. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Cannonball Run. The scene where they're at like a hotel bar and all the racers are just having a blast, and all the controlled chaos going on, as I say. But it was kind of.
I need a ride this year. I need a ride this year to Lambert's.
Hop
I
in
was
the
too scared.
I
was too scared to drive that out. Riding so dirty. I mean, riding dirty. Riding dirty, 6 miles. Straight headers.
That's a
stay in the convoy. Nobody knows.
Maybe I will this year then, if everybody agrees to it.
Jed's talking about driving that Barracuda.
Nope, I gotta go.
Is he?
Oh, that's good. You can ride the bird over there.
Yeah.
I won't break any
last
rules.
year, I didn't. Everybody rolled out, man. I had no ride. I was like, wait, whoa.
Flag somebody down. Taxi. Someone will pick you up.
Before I knew what was going on, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'll just drink here.
No, definitely don't do that next year. Grab a ride. Yeah,
I had somebody throw bread at me.
Gang.
I had somebody throw a loaf of bread at me, and that was great.
I was throwing rolls. I did smoke somebody with one of them on accident. All right, everybody. I think it's what is it? So do I need to go right to 8:30, John, with Mike?
Blake, I want to drive.
Hey, Colleen, the Dart has open pipes. Does it have a functioning rear end yet? Because last I saw, I never saw the rear end assembled in that car. I saw where the case was open.
It's going to be
I mean, really, you're in North Carolina, right, Brad?
Yeah, NC.
Just throw a North Carolina plate on there. They ain't even going to run it. They'll be like, I don't know what's legal in North Carolina. That thing could be perfectly legal.
It's got a North Carolina black and yellow plate on there. Hopefully that might work.
So here's the deal. I have never bothered getting an inspection sticker on the van. It's been out since May because I never drive it. I don't drive it locally. I take it on trips, and I figure nobody's going to care when I'm 600 miles from home when the sticker was. In states that don't even have vehicle inspection, they don't care.
I have to get antique vehicle plates, and I got what's called extended antique, so I can drive more, and that's my plate.
Yeah, that's how I used to roll.
Do they have the emissions test? I know not on that car, but do they have the emissions test up by you, Jeff?
No.
Oh,
I checked that out, Colleen. I thought that was. I checked that out.
Ours is 20 years and older. You don't have to get it anymore.
I'm driving my car to Lambert this year, and I'm going to be spraying that traction compound set up. Brad, I set up. I hit a button and it sprays.
I know. I seen the video.
I'll be doing that right in front of Lambert's.
Spraying Windex on your tires.
Yeah, boom! Just launching as hard as I can. So Barry
Yeah, we
says,
can't
Jeff,
wait, man.
let it might go a little bit before you close out. That seems to help with the redirects. Okay, we got a couple minutes then. But I got this stuff called stripper glitter traction compound, and it's actually got glitter in it, you know. And
Yeah.
I made the mistake of accidentally spraying it all over my garage floor. And when you still walk through here, it's like,
It sounds like a party.
it is exactly. Exactly.
The morning after.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, it's a whole lot of fun. You know, there's some weird marks out on the highway by my house. You know, it's
I don't know how those
fun
got
play.
there. There's no clue.
Cannot
What do
wait
you-
to get
I
out
mean-
and play.
What did you say you got left, Jeff, on that car? I mean, it looks like you're ready, right?
I'm waiting for the transmission. So
Oh, the tranny.
I got about a week's worth of work on the lift. I'm gonna
A week?
gonna put the transmission in a different converter, do a true 4-link, going with a different shifter because the way the transmission
That's
is,
right. That's right.
and rebuild the exhaust, redo the exhaust. So, and I'm gonna paint the hood because I mangled the hood. That's why it's off the car.
I
And,
remember that. Yeah, flew up on you. Yeah. But you just gonna flat black it?
Yeah, I actually have the paint. It's a hot rod satin black, and
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go along this body line right here.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
With the hood. So that'd be pretty neat.
That's all I do on these Mopar, man. I just flat black them out, man. People they love that crap.
Yeah.
Satin black
This looks so
Rust-Oleum
good.
works fine.
Works beautiful, man. Get yourself a cheap Harbor Freight spray gun, man. Those things are throwaway. They're awesome. I love them things. I only use them once and I chuck them.
Yeah, better than cleaner.
It's gonna be pretty cool. Did anyone else notice that there wasn't any cops doing the sit and nab all the way to Lambert's? And not a suggestion, just an observation. Well,
yeah, I didn't see any gotchas.
No.
I mean, you know, they know what our crowd is doing. They know what we're coming to town to do.
Yeah.
We're bringing the town a lot of money, and we're coming out there helping the local economy and behaving ourselves. And really, why would they do that to us?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
exactly.
I'm sure if you were out there doing burnouts on the street or something, they'd say something. But
Well,
they know what's going on, and they're
Yeah.
fine with it.
And I do got to give a shout out to Dr. Art for letting me fill in for him tonight. So I had a lot of fun doing that. Yeah,
You need to
they're
pick
gonna look there.
You need to pick a night and a time and just do them all the time, Jeff. They
That's
really
hard
help.
for me. I was doing some Saturday night stuff before you. It's just really hard. You know, it really depends on what because I'm out at Micah's shop. I'm at Jimmy's. I'm at another friend of mine's doing stuff. I'm here trying to get just all over the place. But I really want to do a certain night, but I don't want to ever step on anybody's toes. You know, I don't want to go live. You know, Brad's got something scheduled every whatever night. You do too. I'm not going to pop up and do that.
Well,
There's
you
people that
generally
do that
give
and stuff.
Friday after
working together.
you could
Friday
always
after
do
Wilburn
Friday
would be a
after
good
Wilburn.
one.
I used to do that for a while.
That's the
and
time.
got-
I don't know why nobody takes.
I
Yeah.
tell you what, I'm going to make a note of that. Friday after
I
Wilburn.
mean, man, if I got 100 on a Friday, I can't believe nobody wants to pick that up and run with it.
I'll do Fridays. How about that? What's your normal end time? 9 p.m. your time?
7 to 9 Central. Central time is
So
7 to 9.
I'll start scheduling 9 on Friday nights.
That's a fertile time. I don't know why people don't take.
Oh yeah, and I don't know who your cell phone provider is, but we got this 5G hotspot thing that's made for home internet. We take that thing everywhere. All you need is a laptop and that, and you can go live from anywhere just about. No, I've gone live out at Jed's house. I've gone live everywhere with it. The only reason I wasn't live at No Name Nationals is I didn't have a plug-in. I'm bringing a generator this year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll do that. I'll take Friday after Wilburn and just go from there. And
You gonna do it this Friday then?
Yeah, I'll do one this Friday.
Yeah, do it this Friday.
I'll do one this Friday, and I'll get that scheduled out. And I like doing trivia, Brad, because I've been immersed in the nostalgia and vintage shit for years. And I'll give away like vintage Fleer cards. So
80s
have somebody-
alternative.
80s alternative. Man, like 80s, there was cool shit and there was a lot of bad shit, you know? It's like, oh, man. It's like, what were you guys wearing?
The
you
80s,
know,
the
like,
80s was like a Nicolas Cage movie. It was either really, really good or really, really bad.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, it's 8:34. We gave Mike a little bit of time on that. I don't want to butt in on any of his. Family's Garage is now registered. Awesome. And
Just got it.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this up, look for a scheduled live Friday night. And guys, I appreciate everyone joining in. And remember, stay safe, stay real. And most of all, we'll see you in 2023 No Name Nationals. Have a good one, everybody.
Thanks for having us, Jeff.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it, man. That's fun.
Thank you.
Later.
Later, John, Brian. Later.